Okay, Rockers, I've been promising you this interview since Rock Against Dystrophy in July. It's been a crazy few months, both for myself and my guest, right now by the phone, but finally joining me by phone here inside the Asylum, none other than Joe Stabile of New Jersey's Lords of Mercy. How you doing, dude?
Well, awesome, man. How's everybody? How you doing, Tobo?
I'm doing good, brother. Thank you for taking the time to call in, and I wanted to thank you again for being part of Rock Against Dystrophy back in July.
I was on there, man. Anything you need, brother, we're there for you.
I appreciate it, man. And
Fantastic.
it was a hell of a night. You guys did a hell of a set, as well as everyone else that was there, and the RAD All-Stars, Mark Tornillo, Bobby Blitz, and you guys. I tell you, that's really what a rock show is about.
Yeah, man. It was really fantastic because when we first asked from our friend we all know, Tattoo Tony Rodriguez, the Lord's of Mercy was asking, there was no question that we were going to do it, and then we find out that old friends of ours, which is Mark from Accept and Blitz and Chris Caffrey and Danny Watts, are all going to do the show, which made it like mind blowing, man. It was such a great night, a great turnout, raised some good money for it, man, and we had a blast. It was some of those guys I haven't seen in 15 years, and it was really good to see them. So it was kind of walking in one door and they walked in the other, and we kind of looked at each other like, yeah, this is going to be a good night. So, and it turned out to be a fantastic night. Couldn't have been any better.
Absolutely, man. The crowd loved it. I tell you, it was a packed place in Crossroads that night for a great cause, and you guys all rocked the house down for sure. And now I want to go back a little bit with you a bit about Lords of Mercy. I'm lucky enough to be from here in the New York, New Jersey area. I know about you guys from Tattoo Tony, and we met for the first time earlier this year, back in I think March or April, or I forget when it was that we first met. I know you guys were playing with David Johansen at Crossroads.
Yes, at Crossroads, right.
Right, so I wanted to go back for the people that are, for the first time, hearing about Lords of Mercy. Yeah, give everyone a backstory about how the band got started and, what your guys are all about.
I'll make a long story short. It's pretty much like a fairy tale, if I could use that kind of terminology. But my guitar player, Danny Aniello, I haven't spoken to in years. Not because we had a blowout or anything, but he went on to sculpting and really great promising career, which he's doing really well at to this day. And I got an offer from a band to play bass, and I'm actually a guitar player, and not that I didn't know how to play bass, but I had no equipment for bass or anything like that, so it was a cover band, and I enjoyed that they were doing like Dokken and Kiss and Molly and stuff, and it was White Snake, and it was really enjoyable. So that didn't pan out, and then I was asked to join an original band playing bass and everything, and that didn't pan out, but one of the guitar players, they needed a guitar player, so I happened to one day knock on Danny's door and say, hey, do you want to play? And he's like, great to see you, but I kind of lost the passion and everything like that, and then I went back to him a second time, and I told him, listen, we got a free studio to do off, and we started playing. That band didn't work out, and then we decided to, Danny went on his way, and he wanted to form a new band, so I called and I said, if you need a bass player, I'm here for you, man. And we got together. Danny already had our drummer, Pete Carina, says, you got to check this guy out. He's like, awesome, and I knew Pete. And the funny thing is, I thought Pete was a photographer. I never knew he was a drummer, and to this day, I still tell him that, and we crack up about it. But we went down to in Pete's basement at his home, and we rehearsed, and we had somebody down there listening to us, and we were together like 3 days, and we had the song Paralyzed already written, and they were like, oh my God, this sounds like something. We started, Danny was coming up with great ideas with songs. I wrote a few, and we went to a party that we were invited to from our friend Don Jameson and Jerry Gaskell from King's X, and a band Psycho Daisy was playing, which is a classic cover band. And as soon as Brandon hit the because we all looked at each other and was like the old Motley Crue saying, "That's the guy. We got to get him." So Randy came down. The job was his, and then we formed. And the music industry and the circuit is like, it's really not what it used to be. There's no clubs left, but you got the Stone Pony, Starland, this and that. And then we had our debut gig with a good friend of mine, JD from Black Label Society, and he has a band, Cycle of Pain. We played over at the Starland Ballroom, and we sold close to 300 tickets just for our band alone for that. So we knew eyes were opening once they found out Danny and I were back together again, and we were with Pete and Brandon. And then we figured, what are we going to do after that? So we found out Ace Frehley was playing that over at the Stone Pony in Asbury Park, New Jersey, and they pretty much laughed when I went up there and says, "Hey, I want that gig," and they were like, "Who are you guys?" Because at that time we really didn't have a Facebook, we had no website, nothing. And I happened to get a call from the promoter or the manager of the Stone Pony and Ace Frehley's manager on a three-way phone while I was watching a Jet game on a Sunday, and they says, "We're going to give you guys the gig, but you're going to do a sound check, and if they don't like you, you're out of there." So we did our sound check, and they were blown away by it, and things just took off from there. We just started getting everybody that we knew in the industry, no one's saying no to us, and we're so humble about it. And the most important thing is that we're a good band, but we're not a band without the supporters that we have, that we love, like dearly, yourself, and the offer. We do benefits. We can't say yes to everything, but certain ones we do. You're a dear friend of ours. We love you, man, and what you're doing in the industry, and all the fans that love us. Our family supports us, and it's really like a fairy tale, man. It's pretty much surreal what's happening, and we played with Michael Schenker, and we did the Paramount Theater with Steel Panther, and all the Monster Magnet. The list goes on of like our childhood people that we admired, and now we're going on a short tour with Anvil in October, which goes Long Island and Syracuse and Buffalo and back to Jersey, and a lot of good things are happening. And there's a big show coming up in December at the Stone Pony. I really can't mention who it's with, but it's a band that was huge back in the late 70s, early 80s, and they reunited, and things are going well with them so far. So they haven't put their John Hancock down yet, but they actually called us and says, "We want you to direct support us. We want you to co-headline with us," and we're like really honored with this. I can't mention it right now, but at a future date, once it happens, we'll come back on your station and announce it to everybody. But everything's going well, man, and for people like yourself and other radio stations that are truly supporting us, we really can't thank you enough for what you've done. So pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really glad to do it. When I first saw you guys earlier this year, Tattoo Tony had mentioned you guys to me when I went out to talk to him about doing this year's RAD, and I went out and I saw you guys because it was kind of it's kind of usually my MO. If I don't know the band directly, I try to go with someone that has seen them, or I make it a point to go see them before I get involved. And I mean, from the moment you guys stepped on stage, it just hit me from the first song that it seemed to me that you guys weren't new. You guys were new to me, but I'm watching you guys and I'm like, you guys are treating a little nothing stage in the middle of New Jersey like it's the PNC Bank Arts Center, like it's the garden, and that's how it should be. And I also gotta credit you guys because here you guys are in a day of social media doing it the old school way, going to the venues, going to the bands and saying, "We want to be on your show."
Right. That's exactly how it happens. So we're all forceful type guys. I mean, we don't make 1,000 phone calls and then hang up the phone and say, "Hey, these guys are out of control." But we pretty much make it a point when they see our resume or whatever you want to call it, and they hear our stuff, they're pretty much like, wow, our mission was when we first started out that we weren't going to see what happens. We're going for the top. We're going to do this. And we're going to do this. We're confident we're going to do this. We do this with no conceit, no ego, nothing. And everybody's listening. And we're old school with a modern flair to it. Like we set out to do a certain style of hard rock, and people are seeing exactly what we wanted them to say as far as like, hey man, I haven't heard stuff like this in 20 years, and it's mind-blowing because that's exactly what we set out to do. And every venue we play, there could be 50 people there, there could be 500 people there. We treat it like it's one step closer to the big show. We treat every single thing that we do as very important and humble, and we love everybody that shows up. We know that the clubs are expensive to get into. If you're a drinker, it's expensive to, some people can't afford it, but people come out, and it's great to see in this day and age because it's not like it was back in the day, and I'm always believing that it's picking up, which it is, and it's having a fun ride, and it's only going to get better. Our name is getting out there. So I'm actually going to a ride Los Angeles tomorrow morning on a business meeting and meeting up with a big entertainment company. I'm going to get a big radio station out there. They're going to do an interview. I got an interview over at the Rainbow Bar and Grill. So it's really exciting that you get a phone call like that to come out and represent. So it's all good, man.
Yeah, I mean, you guys. Talk about really a short time frame in regards to like social media and getting out there. I mean, your album is a self-titled album. It came out in December. And how long were you guys working on that from when you started? Did you guys get together and just say, all right, we're going to sit down, we're going to write an album worth of material and put it right out there? Or did you guys take your time, feel it out live? What was the process for the album?
Well, like I said, Danny had some songs written, and we went down to Pete's basement. We had like 3 songs when we got together, I believe it was, and really good songs. And one happened to be Paralyzed, and we knew right there that's going to be our staple right there. This song is really going to do a lot for us, which it has. And then I started writing some songs, and I presented it to the band, and then Danny helped me collaborate, because I really don't deal with lyrics, and I would put like the chorus in there or something like that, and Danny would come out with phenomenal lyrics and everything, and help add, bridges to our music or whatever, or parts of the verses, and change things around, and when we butt heads, it's all in a good way. So we were writing, and then we didn't have the mindset we're going to put something out just yet, because there's a lot of bands that they write and they got to run stuff out there, they're going to run stuff out there. We literally brought it to a point where people were going, when the hell is your stuff coming out? We want to hear it, because we were doing live shows, we have no product whatsoever. We did do a 4-song demo with Bobby Pantella from Monster Magnet, and he really did such a fine job on it. And then we decided we're not going to do a 4-song demo, and we're going to do a full album. And then I said to Danny, there's this album I've been listening to, and this band that I met, and they're called Blackwater Rising, which I'm sure everybody knows because they're a phenomenal band.
Yeah, I know.
We did a show with we did a show with these guys, and I said, Danny, this is that band. And then when Danny heard the album, he was like, man, this sound is recorded and engineered so well. We have to get this guy. So when we worked on a gig and played with them, I introduced Danny to Rob, and Danny was like, "Hey man, you want to record our album or engineer our album? We'll even have you co-produce it." And at that time, he was like, "Well, I got my thing going, and my album is out. We're trying to tour with that." But him and Danny started butting heads, man, in a good way. I mean, and next thing I know, he's like, "Dude, I got this guy, and this is the price he's going to do it for." And Rob has this home studio that's like crazy. He has everything you need as far as recording a great album. And we sat down and we recorded an album when we knew the time was right. And then we ended up getting signed to Main Man Records. And we don't put our product out, but we let everybody sweat it out for a little bit, because our album should have been out like a year before the date, because we just let people sweat it out. The band's together a little over 2.5 years, but I think it was the time is right, for any band when you're new, to get your thing out there and let people, like, where's your stuff? Where can I get it? And nobody can get it anywhere because, we only had the 4-song demo. We weren't putting that out. And then the next thing you know, some radio stations were playing this, and then we ended up getting the album. We had a record release party, and basically gave them away with the price of admission, which a slew of people showed up. It was so awesome.
See, now that's really a great marketing idea right there, and I'm sure.
Yeah.
Tons of bands would do well there, not only on just ticket sales, but even to get the album out there. People want the album.
Right.
People want to see a live show, and what better way to do it than to put the two together for one price?
Right. Yeah, there's so many good bands out there. We're friends with so many bands on the circuit over here, and it's a dog-eat-dog market, but nobody's in a competition with themselves. We help each other out. If we do gig together, man, if you forgot to bring a piece of equipment with you, we let bands use our back line. Pete lets them use the drums and our amps and whatever, just to make everybody happy. There's so many good bands, but we wanted to really take our time on it and put most of the best songs that we wrote on the first album, which we're writing new stuff for our next album, which we don't know when it's going to come out, so I don't want to quote it on that. But we waited a while before we put our stuff out because we were getting calls and emails and everyone. Well, when are we going to hear your stuff? When are we going to hear your stuff? And then finally, we knew the time was right. Let's do a record release party at the Stone Pony, which, as a matter of fact, our first release party was last December. I think it was the 14th or 15th, and there was a blizzard out. 350 people still showed up at this blizzard. Towns were shut down over this, and then we had our second release party. We honored the tickets of the people that didn't come, which were like 700 were sold, and we got another like 700 people at this gig with the help of other bands that played with us, and it was a great time, man, and eyes are opening, and we're pretty ecstatic about things that are happening, and it's only going to get better. Like this year is going to be phenomenal. Come 2015, we're planning on going overseas in South America and bringing our stuff out to the masses. So we're doing well in Canada, and it's fun, man. It's really good. Everybody listening out there, whoever said anything, rock and roll is not dead, has not gone anywhere.
I was just going to ask you about that because, that's the big hot topic of like the last 2 weeks. With Gene Simmons saying rock has been murdered, and then Dee Snider coming around and saying rock is alive. It was the labels that killed the music sales. There's so many different angles to it, and you just said it all right there. I know, even 5-10 years ago, there were way more venues than there are now, but it just seems to be, maybe that was the problem. Maybe there were too many venues at the time, and now with less venues being around, maybe that's helping to kind of keep it alive because people have to concentrate more on one area and keep an eye on what's going on and at that venue, and maybe that's helping to revitalize the scene.
Absolutely. A lot of venues are that. Back in my day, you could go on a Monday or a Tuesday night and see T.T. Quick, White Tiger, Drummer, with Vito from White Lion. Any given night you could go see a band, and the clubs were packed. You had the Fort Casino, which I think was a 6,500 capacity club, and T.T. Quick could play 3,000 people in there and on a Tuesday. But this day and age, like I said, you got the Pony, you have the Starlight Bowl. A lot of these clubs are expensive to get in, then they charge you to park, and then it's like $10 for a beer, or whatever it is you drink, or $10 for a bottle of water. But rock and roll is not dead. My reason for saying that, Ace Frehley's album came out. He made the top 10 on Billboard. Overkill came out. Overkill, one of the most underrated people are downloading now. Rock and roll is dead. It's any music. People are downloading country and they're downloading rock, but rock is not dead. I mean, we're still getting metal bands making the top 10 on Billboard, and it's all good. People, the only way rock and roll is dead is if you think it is dead. You're the ones not going to the club. You're the ones not supporting the acts. There are a lot of great local acts out there, man, and people are just not seeing it. I mean, I'm a fan of local acts. I will help anyone out I possibly can. But rock and roll is far from dead, man, and never will be. Nothing against Dee Snider, an old friend, or Gene Simmons, how outspoken he is. These are people that made it. They've been to the top of the peak where rock was at its strongest, and not fair to the people like ourselves independently to say something like that, because we're still trying. Some of us have families. I have children, and it's like, I'm still doing it. My 6-year-old son supports me and sings Lords of Mercy songs all the time. That's like the greatest thing. But the fans are there. People are listening. There's a lot of great local music out there. Rock is not dead. It would never. It's going nowhere in my eyes. So.
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. I mean, I read what Gene wrote, and I read what Dee Snider recently put out. Yeah, and they both make valid points. I think Dee might have missed the mark a little bit because, he's saying, the clubs are alive, and people are showing up. Yeah, the clubs are alive, but they're not as alive as they used to be. Like you said, 5-10 years ago and, 20 years ago back in the day, you could go to a club on a Monday or Tuesday night, they'd be sold out. Nowadays, it's mainly Friday, Saturday nights. So, and sometimes with a local show, people only show up for the band that they know, and then they leave, which really isn't fair to the other bands that are on the bill, because I've always said, you never know who's tomorrow headliners could be if you don't stay in support.
You're absolutely right. When you do clubs these days, like, you basically say, we do a gig, and there's like 4 or 5 other bands that are booked, and say something like on a Friday, and the first band's going on at 7. People that are working, they have to go home and eat, shower, whatever you got to do. They're not getting out to the club till 9 or 10 o'clock, and it's not fun, but it's basically reality. But there's bands willing out there to say, hey man, we really want to play with you guys, and we're not the ones that have enforced tickets. A lot of these clubs, you gotta sell tickets. A lot of people boycott it. No, we don't want to sell tickets, and the clubs have 100 other bands that can do it. But we got into the thing now. We really don't have to sell tickets. We do it. But if people can't afford it, man, we'll get them in. If people don't have money or they lost their job and they want to see a good show, we'll take care of it. But I know exactly what you're saying, man. So it's not like it was back in the day, and it's always good to keep the memories alive. But like I said, rock ain't dead, man. There's a lot of great bands out there. People just get out one night, take your wife, your girlfriend, your kids. A lot of these shows are all ages. And just to go see a good show, man. You like you said, your eyes are open to who's tomorrow headliners can actually be. There's a lot of good bands out there.
Absolutely, man. I'm also like you. Everyone looks at me sideways that are my age, because I'm 34 and I still soon to buy a CD. As a matter of fact, I know you. I know when I saw you guys. Well, you were a little surprised when I said you had ordered your CD off of Amazon, and you kind of looked at me like, you didn't download it, you actually ordered a CD. It was like, what?
It's fun. How's your mom doing, by the way, man?
Mom's doing good. Mom's doing really good.
I love her. She's funny, man. I love her. She's great. Your brother's doing, everybody's doing good?
Yeah, everybody's doing good. Jay Scorpion's doing well. We're all doing very well here, and we love what you guys are doing.
Thank you, man.
You guys
call us anytime, bro. Call us anytime.
Yeah, absolutely. Always will, man. Now, you guys got dates coming up with Anvil, and now, have you guys ever worked with Anvil before, or have you, it's the first time playing with them, and what are you looking forward to getting out there with them?
Yeah, Anvil goes back a long way with my drummer Pete. He's really good friends. He actually used to drive for like Anvil and Raven and the bands back in that day, the old Bridge Militia. And you know, we had a chance to do when we were first starting out, we had a chance to do a gig with Anvil, and it went really well, and they liked us. That was at the Highline Ballroom in Manhattan. And that show went really well, and we always talked about the future, but for conflicting tour dates that Anvil had, and because ever since they came back out with the movie and everything, they've been doing great, and they're just in command. So we always planned on maybe doing a tour. And then we did a few more shows here and there with them, you know, a month here, and then 3 months later we would do another show. And then, you know, Robert got a hold of Danny and Pete, and we're like, you know, let's put something together. And we're going to be starting October 15th at the Emporium in Long Island, and then the 16th in Syracuse, New York, and like an idiot right now, I can't remember the name of the place. I can't think. I'm sorry. And then the 17th on the Friday, we're going to be back in Jersey at the Brighton Bar in Long Branch.
Cool. So you're doing the New York area kind of, the New York, New Jersey run with them.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What did you just say?
You're doing the New York and New Jersey run with Angel.
Yes, the Syracuse one is the Lost Horizon, Syracuse, New York. That's on Thursday the 16th. So I'm glad I remembered their name. I don't need them getting mad at me. But yeah, there's a bunch of local bands at each show that are playing. I actually have my cousin Bobby's band, Voodoo Train. They're going to be doing their debut gig with us over at the Bright Bar. So that's something to look forward to. A really good hard rock band that's out of Port Marmaton, Belford, New Jersey. So they're real good hard rock. So that's at the Brighton Bar on Friday night, the 17th. And then we were going to do a lot more dates with them and everything, but Anvil has other commitments that they're going away to Japan, so we had to cut it a little short. But it's going to be an experience. It's going to be fun. We're ready to go. We're looking forward. We're going to kill the crowd each night.
Definitely a great show for everyone in the New York, New Jersey area. Looking to hit that up. Coming up in October. Talking to Joe Stabile, Lords of Mercy. And you mentioned earlier when we were talking that you guys were planning about, you know, getting out of the States and maybe doing South America, Europe, and all of that. What do you think has been the big credit for you guys to be able to not only want to do it, but have, you know, that audience out there in those areas that want to see you? Do you think that's a credit to social media or internet sales, or is that just still the old school word of mouth kind of thing?
Well, you know, if you think about it, back in the day, the word of mouth, we didn't really have the computer technology we have today. I mean, whether you love it or hate it, Facebook is probably one of the hugest social medias that are out there. I mean, a lot of our fans came from, you know, when you're posting, when you're playing, it's a huge social media. Like I said, whether you hate or love Facebook, you know, that's for a band or your business, that's like a huge social media. But it's more social media, you know, word gets out there, so people know, and they, you know, our CD got in the hands of people in Canada, in Ottawa, and Montreal, and we were getting, like, #1 requested for Your Time Is Going to Come, and it's just crazy, but it's media, and we got PR people, Adrenaline PR, and Muncie from, you know, the skateboard PR people, and doing a lot for us. So it's who you know, but even if you don't know these people, there's people out there that will sit down and listen to your stuff. If they like you, they will help promote it, and you know, it's a good thing. But social media is a big thing that you can get around the world, and we want to bring the world to masses. I mean, it's not crazy. I'm a kid from Freeport, New Jersey, that, like, I'm going to put this on the map. You know, it's my dream. It's everybody's in this band's dream, like it is any other band's dream out there. You know, my dream is to accept the Grammy Award, or you know, I live my childhood dream. There's nothing wrong with doing that, man. You know, and my son decides to do that when he gets older. At least he has a dad that has somewhat of knowledge of what to do and what not to do in the business. I'll be there for him every step of the way. But I'm living my dream, man. You know, nobody can make fun of that. That my passion for music is deep. A doctor's passion is medicine. I'm a musician, and my passion for music is it's unexplainable. unexplainable. I can't even answer it myself. So it's that good. It's positive, man. I love to see people smile, singing our songs, and just having a good time. That's what it's all about, man. No negativity. Music is part of your heart. It's part of your soul, and I love it more than next to my children, I love it more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's the truth. When you are out there, you're doing what you love to do. It's a dream you have, and you're living it. I mean, look, I put up on Facebook Monday night. I mean, I've just had a crazy weekend. And Monday night, I was standing side of the stage, watching our buddy Mark Tornillo and the guys who accept Kick-Ass at the Gramercy. And I had, that moment that you've been having with Lord's Mercy of living the dream, where I had that moment of, what, I've dreamt about being side stage for a big band like Accept, because I'm lucky enough to be friends with, guys in the band and know their music and support them, and it is about living.
And we're honored to support you, man. We're honored to support you, Turbo. It's you're doing a good thing out there, bro, and just. You don't stop, man. A lot of stuff comes with negativity in both our businesses, but it's more positive, and that's what we. You learn from negativity, man. It only makes you stronger, and just everyone listen to heavy metal and hard rock out there. It's a good genre.
Oh yeah, it's a great genre. It gets its bad reputation because of people that look at it the wrong way and don't understand it, but we don't know better. It's a group of great music. People like to have a great time with great hearts, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely, my brother.
Awesome, man. Listen, man, I know you got things you got to do, so I don't want to keep you much longer, man.
Thank you, bro.
You're welcome, man. Glad to do it, as always, man. We'll get you back on when you get more info about that December dates that you're
Absolutely, man. We'll do that. See you later on the road, man.
Awesome, man. You guys keep your eyes out for Lords of Mercy on the road. Get their self-titled debut album now, wherever you buy your music. Joe, what song should I play from the album for everyone?
I'm a big fan of Your Time Is Gonna Come. It's just like get on your car or on your bike and just scream it down the highway without getting hurt. But let's do what Your Time Is Gonna Come. Awesome.
I love that one. I also love the way it opens with that missile flying in. It's a great one.
Yeah, that was kind of... I always wanted something at the beginning of the album, and Rob, we were going nuts. There were like bombs dropping and sirens, and it seemed that people were coming out with that. And also we came out with like this skyrocket. it fit, so.
It works, man. It works. You're welcome, man. Thank you. Everyone check this out. Your Time Is Gonna Come from Lords of Mercy. Stay tuned.
God bless you, everybody.